The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has expressed serious concerns about the sharp rise in executions in Iran, calling for the country to immediately halt their use of the death penalty. The Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe has highlighted a rise in cases of torture and ill treatment in Turkey's detention facilities, contradicting the nation's declared zero-tolerance policy. The remains of 41 Yazidis have been given a proper burial in Sinjar, exhumed from mass graves of victims of the 2014 Islamic State atrocities, while a conference focusing on Yazidi women and the future of Sinjar is set to take place in the European Parliament. In other news, a Syrian refugee faces up to xenophobic chants in Turkey. The Syrian woman emphasised her and her community's efforts to integrate and contribute to Turkish society. Learn more with Media News. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, called for Iran to halt the increasing use of the death penalty, citing recent executions and the need for judicial fairness. This year in Iran, at least 54 individuals have already reportedly been executed, a practice Turk strongly criticised as inconsistent with the fundamental right to life. In Saqqez, thousands gathered to bid farewell to Farhad Salimi, executed on Tuesday.
Sharp spike in the use of the death penalty in Iran, including the executions of 2 men yesterday, is alarming. At least 54 people have reportedly been put to death over the past 3 weeks. The death penalty is not consistent with the most fundamental of rights, the right to life. This practice must be stopped immediately. Mohammed Gobadloo became the 9th person to be executed in connection to the 22 protests. Farhad Salimi, a Kurdish man, was executed on the same day after spending 14 years in jail. The right to due process and a fair trial for all defendants must be adhered to. We are deeply disturbed by reports of forced confessions obtained under duress. Such confessions should not be invoked as evidence in any proceedings.
In a recent report, the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe highlighted a significant increase in incidents of torture and ill treatment in Turkey's detention facilities, contradicting the nation's declared zero-tolerance policy. The report revealed a disconcerting rise in torture cases, particularly in processes involving arrest, detention, interrogation and crowd control by Turkish security forces. This upsurge starkly contrasts with the Turkish authorities' official stance against torture and ill treatment. The European Court of Human Rights rulings in cases involving PKK leader Abdullah Öcalan and others are cited as incidences necessitating close monitoring by the Council of Europe. Following the focus on Turkey, the report shed light on systemic issues in Russia and Azerbaijan. The resolution emphasises the urgent need for concrete action, recommending legal reforms to criminalise torture and ill treatment, ensure accountability and protect complainants. The remains of 41 Yazidis killed by ISIS were interred in Sinjar, northern Iraq, during a ceremony on Wednesday. This follows the discovery of mass graves in the region, where thousands of Yazidis were massacred and thousands of women sold into slavery after ISIS's attack on the 3rd of August 2014. So far, 92 mass graves have been identified in Sinjar. The Iraqi government, under the supervision of the UN, began exhuming these graves on the 15th of March 2019. To date, only 55 graves have been opened, revealing the remains of 1,032 individuals. Iraq has managed to identify 242 Yazidis through DNA testing, returning their remains to families. Currently, the Baghdad Forensic Medicine Institute holds 790 unidentified bodies pending DNA identification. In Brussels, a conference titled Sinjar, a Community Under Genocide Threat, Reconstruction as a Guarantee for Peace in the Middle East, will be held in the European Parliament on the 30th of January. The conference is to address the state's obligations for recognising the 2014 ISIS attack as genocide, reconstruction methods for Sinjar, and the impact of Sinjar's autonomous status on the region. A Syrian refugee in Turkey faced prejudice, accused in public of living for free. She defended her community's contributions against the xenophobic confrontation highlighting her work as an English teacher. In response, the crowd became hostile, chanting, "Go back to your country." The Syrian woman questioned the crowd's sympathy for Palestinians should they seek refugee status in Turkey, challenging the hypocrisy of the accusations against the Syrian community in Turkey.
Canım ne bedava? Sen bedava. Siz aç böyle gözle. Ben İngilizce öğretmenim. Gönüllü 8 sene çalıştım. Geldik sıfırdan başladık. Çalışıyoruz, kazanıyoruz. Eğitimimiz var, dil biliyoruz. Bitsin artık, sıkıldık bıktık biz. Başka bir dünya varsa gideceğiz. Ama aynı yaşatsın. Filistin için üzülüyorsunuz. Bu hep yalan. Şimdi Filistinler gelsinler, bakacağız ne yapacaksınız, kovacaksınlar. Siz kitap okumuyorsunuz, cahilsin. Senin gibi insan cahil okumadı. Nasıl savaş, ne savaş bilmiyorsun.
Hanımefendi, siz önce şu atamızın olduğu yerden bir çıkın müsaadenizle. Çıkın oradan.
Türkler ne diyorlar Suriyeliler hakkında? Herkes görecek siz nasıl bir millet. Aynı yaşadığımız şeyler yaşayacaksınız. Bu söz Allah sözü. Zalim aynı şey yaşar.